Howdy. Uh, Thought I'd do a metaphysical reading for y'all for the day. I don't really know what to call it. It's kind of like a energetic weather report for me. So every day I basically look at the Zolkin solar seal and lunar tone of the day, and I look at the solar seal and lunar tone of the Mayan Hob calendar of the day. And I do a lot of different divination tactics, techniques, studies, whatever. I've researched everything, like everything you can think of in the occult. Like I've looked into it. Most things are reducible to the 20 by 13 harmonic module of the Zolkin. I'm not saying it's the best one. It's not the best system. We're all people. We're kind of incapable of making the best system. So I go with the one that makes sense to me. I'm a little bit part Choctaw. They're descended from the Mayans. Works for me. That's my type of aesthetic when it comes to, if I ever did more ritualistic looking stuff, I kind of like just more cabiny bookshelf aesthetic, but that's not the point. Today on on the Mayan Hob calendar is it's the 12-15 day. Lunar tone 12, solar seal 15, which is I didn't think about. That's a pretty big day. I like that. It's a day about universalizing in order to create. That's lunar tone 12 over archetype 15. Tone 12, tone of universalization, tone of cooperation, tone of, you say coordination. It's the crystal tone. You can think the color violet. Like to think silver for 12 a lot. And those energies bring with it a very Pisces-centric sort of tone to the energy of the day. Like, don't be surprised if things just kind of align a certain way for you today. And with it being overlaid on top of the archetypical energy of 15, which in the tarot, that's the devil. In the Mayan system, it's the eagle, the mind. That's its essence, basically. It's the power of creativity, according to them. I'd say a lot of clarity comes from this tone. Or not tone. Well, yeah, tone on top of this archetype, but this archetype brings with it a kind of more eagle-eyedness to things than I think people associate typically with 15. Because most people in dealing with the tarot, devil 15 can be more associative to vices and I'd say ill-suited or unfavorable toxic connections, but depends on who draws a card, both literally and figuratively. So to utilize that kind of energy against itself kind of results in a lot of clear thinking. I don't know if I'd say post-nut clarity is 15 utilized to its best resources and perfection, but I wouldn't also put that specific of a title on that. But with 1215, there's a sort of energy to that that's kind of Neptune-like, kind of, I wanted to say mercurial, but it's more of a, just very psychic, very in tune kind of energy. With 12 and the mindscape sort of aspect of our lives. Don't be surprised if some things that seem like synchronicities start happening, but don't be entirely fooled by that. Most time on these days, things will happen that are synchronistically in tune with something that you were thinking of, but pay attention to what type of thing you were thinking of. Were you thinking of something that just came to your mind, or at the time, were you thinking of something you were trying to put into this world? Maybe not manifest, but just maybe formulate. What comes together on these days that typically wouldn't on the others? And that's where the data comes in. That's why I like the Hob calendar. You can just keep up with. You don't need to even go outside. I hate to be a curmudgeon or a hermit. That's the word. I feel like curmudgeon's more of the better word for the hermit, but at least I like that word better. I like using it for the reason that I don't need to do much other than just follow a pretty nice looking calendar. And if I need to backtrack on the placement of something in my life on that calendar and its events, I just backtrack and see whether or not in my mind's eye I can see what happened in those days that corresponds with something happening on another day. And doing that is what helps you kind of utilize both calendars. Because for a while I was just using the Zolkin, which is Jose Arguelez's, however you say his name, refinement of the Mayan Hob calendar. And I made a lot of headway in my life. I made a lot of progress in terms of spiritual activities, mental activities, physical activities. Hell, you utilize energies that are quite literally pulsing through the entire fucking galaxy. You start getting on a current that can, kind of take you somewhere good, really somewhere more harmonious than you would be if you just said, well, I'm just gonna fucking figure out what the fuck I'm supposed to do looking around this room, assuming that this has all the spiritual answers I need. Which, I mean, shouldn't say that because you never know what rooms you're going to wind up in. I've got quite a few books in here that will take you there, but kind of forgot what I was talking about. Anyway, on a Mayan Hob calendar, 12/15 day. On the Zolkin, it is a 4/19 day. 4 for Ninja Turtles. Oh, I love that. I didn't think of that. That's planned. That's not planned. Sorry. I just say 4 for Ninja Turtles all the time. Like 4 is my lucky number. I would say it's my lucky number, but for years I've always said 4 is my lucky number because fuck it, 4 for Ninja Turtles. I'd say that if I had to pick a number 1 through 10, I was like, fuck it, 4 for Ninja Turtles. And over the years, that's become that. But today, I get to say that and be happy about it because it's a 4/19 day. I've known it's a 4/19 day coming up, and I've been happy because I've been getting Ninja Turtle marathons ready. But 4/19, if you haven't guessed it, the archetype 19 is the turtle in the Mayan system. I'm trying to think of what it what's 19? 19 is the sun in tarot, and I like that. uh, I guess I'm pretty sure I'm gonna look like a fool if it's not, but pretty sure it is. I always get once I learned the Mayan system and the tarot, I always got 20 and 19 mixed up, just because in the Mayan system 20 is the sun, and I'm this many years I'm almost positive the sun is 19 in the tarot, which makes for interesting correlations and understandings of things. But anywho, 419 day is the day, which 4 energy, it's very where can I start with a 4? 419 is I define in order to self-generate or catalyze. I'd prefer the term catalyze, but there's a lot of different directions 19 can go. 19 is very capable. 19 is a very powerful energy. Both of these energies of today, or both archetypical energies of today, the 15 and the 19 in the Zolkin, they're both in the suit of the West, which there's your own correlations you can put into that. 19 is the final in the 5 archetypes that wind up in that specific cardinal direction, and it's one of the most, I'd say, potent in terms of its capability, but the more you study the system, the more you realize each archetype's potency is about just as integral as the last or the next one. So 19's also the storm, or the the storm. I also call it the penguin. I don't know why I see 19 as a penguin, but 19 has shown itself to me as a penguin for some reason, and I buy it. But the 4 energy is the energy of formation, or I wouldn't even say formation. It's the elementary tone. It's the tone of definition and form and determination. I love the 4. The 4 days are special. So I define in order to self-generate. That energy takes us in a lot of different places. The 4 energy is also a Cancerian energy. If you look at the Zolkin lunar tone map, you can see how it mirrors the Kabbalah, obviously. We'll get into that in another video, because there's obviously playover and correlations and a lot to talk about there. And if you look in the chakra system in the Vedic metaphysical traditions, you get to the sacral chakra, and that's essentially the 4. That's that energy. Orange. Also, what else is 4 to me? I'd say brown and tan. What else? Just has a lot to do with energetic movements defined specifically to vitalize creative action, but not necessarily creativity solely in itself, because the 4 energy brings with it a lot of capability, a lot of roundedness, a lot of well-roundedness. That's the way to say it. Like, picture a bulky, very brutish type of individual, and you basically have a sort of outline for the 4. But picture that person also able to do like backflips and like go really far when he jumps and do all sorts of interesting, creative things with some aspect of his being, then you basically have that 4. With 419, I say Ninja Turtles because 4 for Ninja Turtles, it's on top of the 19. This day is, to me, not just in like my own sort of based mentality, it's the Ninja Turtle day. There's an energy to today that it really sort of, oh, what's the word? I don't think nostalgizes. I don't think that's a word, but it brings forth an atmosphere that is both very lighthearted and incredibly capable. It's very relaxing while also hyping. A lot like, to me, the Ninja Turtles are. It's very cozy while also being goofy. It's unserious while also being serious when obviously it needs to. Obviously. uh, today's a good day. I like today. Or January 22nd, 2025. It's hard to keep up. Not even sure if today's Wednesday. I'm almost positive. Yeah, today's Wednesday. And with that brings with it, I mean, if you call today Wednesday, it's a very mercurial day. It's a very, well, and depending on who you're into, it's a very Odin-y day. It can be a lot of things, but 12:15 on top of 4:19 energy. Don't be surprised if something comes your way very Pisces related and very close to home. Very loving. Very inspiring. While also being something that gives you a bit of a break. Because it's one of those times where these energies line up to just tell you kind of need a break. Because a lot will culminate and a lot will simmer down and a lot will happen you didn't expect that you really needed to. So I hope this resonates with somebody, anybody, or I hope this helps. If you're interested in the Zolkin, honestly, there's an app you can look up. Just type in Zolkin. There's one that comes up in Spanish called Synchronario something. The app isn't in Spanish, I don't believe, unless you look hard. It's free to just look at the basic data, but I use that one a lot. And I use one called Zolkin Explorer to look at the Hob calendar, which you'd think it would be opposite names, but not really. There's another Mayan app that I can't remember off the top of my head that I'll look at, but when I remember that, I'll put that in the video. But either way, I appreciate whoever watched till the end. I hope whatever I said helps you. Helps clarify things. I think the app's just called Mayan Calendar. Anyway. Later, Tater.